Hello and welcome to my video on Kubler-Ross's theory of bereavement. Elisabeth Kubler-Ross was a Swiss doctor who practiced psychiatry in America, and it was her studies in near death that she began to consider her own theory of bereavement. Her work continues since her death with the Elisabeth Kübler-Ross Foundation. This is probably the best known of the various bereavement theories, and it's known by the acronym DABDA, which stands for Denial, Anger, Bargaining, Depression and Acceptance. And we'll be looking at each of these parts in the next part of the video. Like all bereavement theorists, Elisabeth Kübler-Ross believed that each of these phases that one did not automatically lead into another. Bereavement is not a linear process. Kubler-Ross believed that for an acceptance of bereavement, an acceptance of loss to occur, then the individual will grieve individually, possibly going back to certain phases that we'll discuss, and there may be only a short time spent in one of the phases. However, for a complete acceptance of the loss, then each phase must be experienced. So, the first D is for denial, and of course, denial is the unconscious or conscious refusal to accept. For someone who is bereaved, it's refusal to accept facts, information, reality to the situation of bereavement. Of course, this is a coping mechanism and it's perfectly natural. What we find is that some people become locked in this stage and are unable to move forward. We, as human beings, are not able to avoid or evade death indefinitely. When people are bereaved, anger can manifest itself by the bereaved being angry with the deceased, professionals, and of course themselves. When other people realise that their anger is to do with their loss, then it's easier for that person's anger to be accepted. In Kübler-Ross's theory, the third part is bargaining. I believe that bargaining can be an aspect of magical thinking. For example, people may try to bargain with God or the God that they believe in. If only you can allow this person to live, you can take 5 years off my life. There is a recognition by the bereaved that bargaining does not prove to be a sustainable solution. However, most people find that at some stage during bereavement they will try to bargain either with their faith or with other people around them. It seems realistic for people to be depressed and sad when a significant part of their life is missing. When someone's bereaved, there is an anxiety and a sadness. An anxiety of how their life will change and if they will be able to manage that change. As clinicians, when we see people beginning to become very sad regarding their bereavement, we can recognise that this is sometimes the dress rehearsal or a practice run for the aftermath. Obviously, as individuals, people will go in and out of this stage throughout the bereavement process. And the fifth and final stage in Kubler-Ross's model is the acceptance. And for us to realise, this does not mean that the person will not be remembered, that there won't be some form of grieving, possibly at anniversaries, and when they visit places that were special to that particular relationship. However, the acceptance is of moving on with one's own life and able to manage, on the whole, all of the changes that the loss of the person has meant. For various practitioners, they still use Kubler-Ross's model. However, they will often change this final name. People use resolution. I have seen acknowledgement used and other words. However, Kubler-Ross was very explicit in saying there needed to be an acceptance for the bereaved to move on with their life. Thank you.